It is recording. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is the last video of the Jubilee series, and thank you everybody for following along. So we are going to get into it. We are going to size me down. And let's have fun. Chapter 46. And it says, and it came to pass that after Jacob died, the children of Israel multiplied in the land of Egypt, and they became a great nation. And they were of one accord in heart, so that brother loved brother, and every man loved his brother. And they increased abundantly and multiplied exceedingly. 10 weeks of years, all the days of the life of Joseph, and there was no Satan, adversary, nor any evil all the days of the life of Joseph, which he lived after his father Jacob. For all the Egyptians honored the children of Israel all the days of the land of Joseph. And Joseph died being 110 years old. 17 years he lived in the land of Canaan. 10 years he was a servant. 3 years in prison, and 80 years he was under the king, ruling all the land of Egypt. And he died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. And he commanded the children of Israel before he died that he should carry his bones with them when they went forth from the land of Egypt. It says, and he made them swear regarding his bones, for he knew that Egyptians would not again bring forth and bury him in the land of Canaan. For this king right here, king of Canaan, while dwelling in the land of Assyria, fought in the valley with the king of Egypt and slew him there. And he pursued after Egyptians to the gates of this name that I can't pronounce. But he was not able to enter. For a new king had become king of Egypt, and he was stronger than he. And he returned to the land of Canaan, and the gates of Egypt was closed, and none went out, and none came into Egypt. And Joseph died in the 46th Jubilee, in the 6th week, in the 2nd year, and they buried him in the land of Egypt, and all his brethren died after him. And the king of Egypt went forth to war with the king of Canaan in the 47th Jubilee, in the 2nd week, in the 2nd year. And the children of Israel brought forth all the bones of the children of Jacob, save the bones of Joseph, and they buried him in the field in the double cave in the mountain. And I feel like this is the mountain where Rebecca, Abraham, Isaac, and like all of them is at. And the most of them returned to Egypt, but a few of them remained in the mountain of Hebron. And Aram, thy father, remained with them. Is somebody white from Sinetta's team? Listen to that. But a few names remain in the mountains of this blank, and boom, and their father heap. Is somebody right? It says, and the king of Canaan was victorious over the king of Egypt, and he closed the gates of Egypt, and he devised against the. I'm gonna go back to my thing. Hold on for a minute. I'm sorry, guys. Wait, I don't know. Wait, do I got anything uploading? No, I don't. Yeah. Okay, it says, and he devised an evil device against the children of Israel, of afflicting them, and he said unto the people of Egypt, behold, the children of Israel has increased and multiplied more than we. Come and let us deal wisely with them before they become too many, and let us afflict them with slavery before war come upon us, and upon us, and before they too fight against us, lest they will join themselves unto our enemies and get them up out of our land, for their hearts and faces are towards the land of Canaan. And he set over them taskmasters to afflict them with slavery, and they built strong cities for Pharaoh, Pi, Pion, and Ramses. And they built all the walls and all the fortification which had fallen in the cities of Egypt. And they made them serve with rigor, and the more they dwelt evilly with them, the more they increased and multiplied. This is how you know the Most High people are some freaky motherfuckers. Like seriously, they all hell went through. I think it's the sweat. Anyway, all hell went through. Really, really. You freaky too. I already know you. Anyway, all hell went through at work, and now at home, the wife is looking sexy, and next thing you know, they making babies. Anyway, yeah, you laughed that one. No, I'm pretty funny myself. Anyway, and the people of Egypt abominated the children of Israel. 47. Okay, we're gonna click 47. Chapter 47. Chapter 47. So let's go. It says, in the 7th week, in the 7th year, in the 47th Jubilee, thy father went forth from the land of Canaan, and thou was born in the 4th week, in the 6th year thereof, in the 48th Jubilee. This was the time of tribulation on the children of Israel. Thy father. Who is speaking? This must be Moses' father. Let's go to Exodus right now. Thy father. We're going to go to Exodus 2. Okay, so we have this particular thy father. Thy father. This had to be Moses. Thy father. And the Pharaoh king of Israel, king of Egypt issued command regarding them that they should cast all their male children which were born into the river. So this particular father, he's in the land of Canaan. So in the back chapter, there were some people, they stayed like in the mountains. Okay, so we got there. Okay, where we at? Born into the river, and they cast them in for 7 months until the day that thou was born. And thy mother hid thee for 3 months, and they told regarding her, and she made an ark for thee, and covered it with pitch and absinthe, and placed it in the Prince of Egypt is my favorite movie. And the flags on the bank of the river, and she placed thee in 7 days, and thy mother came by night and sucked thee, and by day Miriam thy sister guarded thee from the birds on your protector. And in those days, the daughter of Pharaoh, so we have a name, the daughter of Pharaoh. So let's do a little quick research. So we can since we got a name, hold on, I gotta go back because I don't know how to spell the name. Oh, I spelled the name wrong. We have a name. just trying to find out who's her father. That's all. It should be that easy. It literally be that easy. I see this. Copy. We found the name. Now, if y'all seen his name while we was reading, how did I miss it? I see the name. Y'all see that? Let's see what. Okay, I don't really look up on Wikipedia, but let's search this up. He look black as hell. He look like Ramses in Prince of Egypt. Don't he look like him? So is this where we get our man from? So he was the father. Okay, wait. Okay, it says he's the seventh pharaoh right here. Y'all see this? Yeah. Right there. He's the seventh pharaoh. Right. So maybe it was his father. Yeah. Maybe him. Yeah. I don't know. But so at least we got the daughter's name, and now we know who's the actual pharaoh that did all this. It says, came to bathe in the river, and she heard thy voice crying, and she took her maidens to bring thee forth, and they brought thee unto her. And she took thee out of the ark, and she had compassion on thee. And thy sister said unto her, shall I go and okay, so this is Miriam. I was confused at first. Shall I go and call unto thee one of the Hebrew women to nurse and suck this babe for thee? And she said unto her, go, and she went and called thy mother. I don't know how to pronounce J, and she gave her wage. How you gonna get paid for your own child? This is so sweet to me. This is like literally so sweet. And it's like, and she nursed thee. And it says, now they said the name of the father. Look at this. It says, and afterwards, when thou was grown up, they brought thee unto the daughter of Pharaoh, and thou didst become her son, and Abram thy father taught thee writing. Okay, this is him. And it says, and after thou hast completed 3 weeks, they brought thee into the royal court. And said, and thou wast 3 weeks of years at court until the time when thou didst go forth from the royal court, and didst see an Egyptian smiting thy friend who was of the children of Israel, and thou didst slay him, and oh, this is probably God talking. It says, thou didst slay him and hid him in the sand. It says, on the second day thou didst, and two of the children of Israel striving together, and thou didst say to him who was doing the wrong, why doest thou smite thy brother? And says, and he was angry and ignorant, and he said, who made thee prince and a judge over us? And you will see that when Moses is the greatest leader, even secular people would say that Moses is the greatest, and that brings joy to my heart. And I just want to clarify. Did you know Moses was supposed to be a high priest? But he didn't want that fuller responsibility. 30 minutes is about to approach. But I'm going to be honest, this could be a short life. So click the link in my bio. Thank you. From her son, and Abram thy father taught thee writing. Okay, this is him. This is after thou hast completed 3 weeks into the royal court. And thou wast 3. Okay, so it says, and everything was sent through thy hand, and thou should declare these things before they were done, and thou didst speak with the kings of Egypt before all his servants and before his people, and everything took place according to thy works. 10 great and terrible judgment came on the land of Egypt, that thou mightest execute vengeance on it for Israel. And the Lord did everything for Israel's sake, and according to his covenant which he has ordained with Abraham, that he would take vengeance on them as they brought them by force into bondage. And the prince stood up against thee. Okay, so this is Satan. And sought to cast thee into the hands of Pharaoh, and he helped the Egyptian sorcerers. That's definitely Satan. And they stood up and wrought before thee. I hope it's on the right one. Okay, good, it is. And stood up, wait. It said, wait, hold on. Stood up and wrought before thee the evils indeed. We permitted them to work, but the remedies we did not allow to be wrought by their hands. And the Lord smote them with malignant ulcers, and they were not able to stand. For we destroyed them so that they could not perform a single sign. And notwithstanding all these signs and wonders, the prince was not put to shame, because he took courage and cries to the Egyptian to pursue after thee with all the powers of the Egyptian, with their chariots and with their horses, and with all the hosts of the peoples of Egypt. And I stood between the Egyptians and Israel, and we delivered Israel out of his hands and out of the hands of his people. And the Lord brought them through the midst of the sea as if it were dry land. And all the peoples whom he brought to pursue after Israel, the Lord our God cast them into the midst of the sea, into the depths of the abyss beneath the children of Israel, even as the people of Egypt had cast their children into the river. He took vengeance on a million of them, and 1,000 strong and energized men who destroyed on account of one suckling of the children of thy people, which they have thrown into the river. On the 14th day, and on the 15th, and on the 16th, and on the 17th, and on the 18th, the prince was bound in prison behind the children of Israel, that he might not accuse them. That sounds just like Satan, because he accuses us. Reads, I think it's Zechariah. And also, what else? In Job too. It says on the 19th, we let them loose that they might help the Egyptians and pursue the children of Israel. And he hearkened their heart. He hardened their hearts and made them stubborn. And the device was devised by the Lord our God, that he might smite the Egyptians and cast them into the sea. Not all of them, just some. And on the 15th and the 14th, we bound him that he might not accuse the children of Israel on the day when they asked the Egyptians for vessels and garments, vessels of silver, vessels of gold, vessels of bronze, and in order to despoil the Egyptians in return for the bondage in which they have forced them to serve. Oh, that makes sense, and that is wise. I like that. And he did not lead forth the children of Israel from Egypt empty-handed. I like how Jubilee said that. That was sweet. 49. We are in chapter 49. Yay! Let's go. Remember the commandment which the Lord commanded thee concerning the Passover. Y'all, Passover is coming up. It's on April 4th. Get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Ain't that TD Jake, y'all? Anyway, yeah, TD is the fool. It says that thou shouldst celebrate it in the season on the 14th of the first month, that thou should kill it before it is evening, and that they should eat it by night on the evening of the 15th, for the time of the setting of the sun. For on this night, the beginning of the festival and the beginning of the joy, ye were eating the Passover in Egypt, when all the powers of has been let loose to slay all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh to the firstborn of the captives' maid servants, and the meal, and to the cattle. And this is the sign which the Lord gave them. Into every house on a lintel, which they saw the blood of the lamb of the first year, into that house they should not enter to slay, but should pass by it, that all those shall be saved that were in the house, because the sign of the blood was on its lintels. And the powers of the Lord did everything according as the Lord commanded. I'm gonna be honest. When I read that, I'm gonna be completely honest. This is two fucking lords. Look. And the powers of the Lord did everything according as the Lord commanded. So, is this like, so is God stupid or something, and he's talking in third person? Sometimes he does do that. He talking in third person. But this is two lords. It's basically saying this particular Lord is doing what the Most High commanded. That's exactly what it's saying. It says, and they passed by all the children of Israel, and the plagues came not upon them to destroy from among them as so, either of cattle or man or dog. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know what the next book I will read because of that. I'm gonna know what the next book I will read on here. Like, I'm so serious. It says, and the plague was very grievous in Egypt, and there was no house in Egypt where there was not one dead, and weeping and lamentations. And all Israel was eating the flesh of the Passover lamb, and drinking the wine, and was laughing and blessing and giving thanks to the Lord God of their fathers, and was ready to go forth from under the yoke of Egypt, and from the evil bondage. And remember thou this day all the days of thy life, and observe it from year to year all the days of thy life, once a year on this day, according to all the law thereof, and do not adjourn it from day to day or from month to month. We are going to pause here. This is for all you guys saying that you do not have to keep the law. Make sure you go to my other channel. It's called Scripture Solvers. I posted oops, I can't spell. I posted 2 videos and a podcast, so check that out. Yeah. We are going, I think it's 7. Is it 7? I feel like I haven't read. I think it's 7. I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's not in here. I know it's in Corinthians. Man, I haven't read in Paul in a while. I was 5. See, I didn't know. It says 1 Corinthians 5 and 8. Therefore let us keep the feast. This is Passover. Not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. And Christians take this verse. They don't understand the context of this verse. Oh man. I'm forgetting every damn thing. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respects of the holy day or in of or the new moon of the 7th day. They were doing it. So the pagans was judging the believers for eating the clean meats and the Sabbath and the new moons and the holy day, which are the shadows of things to come, but of the body of Christ. Yeah. Let's see. Once a year, it says for it is the eternal ordinance and engraved on the heavenly tablets regarding all the children of Israel that they should observe it every year on this day, once a year, throughout all their generations. Like I said, who is our God? I'm confused. I am confusion. Stop it. I'm confusion. I really am. I'm confusion. And there is no limit of days, for this is ordained forever. Like, seriously. It says the man who is free from uncleanness. Reason why I said who else I got like that, because I saw these beings and I'm literally confused. Like, I'm so serious. But I do say they do know my God, because yeah, that's the reason why they sent me back. Because I said I followed the law of Moses and he asked me to name the prophets. His son was there. Right, his son was there. Hold up. You know what? Yep. And does not come to observe it on the occasion of. And you gonna say you talk about his son? You talk about Jesus? No, this is not Jesus. No, this is not Jesus. This is not Jesus. It said this is not Jesus. And I stared to his son look just like the father anyway. Right, like identical twins. And did not come to observe it on the occasion of its day, so as to bring an acceptable offering before the Lord, and to eat and to drink before the Lord on the day of its festival. That man who was clean and close at hand should be cut off. Pause. Gotta read that again. The man who is free from uncleanness and does not come to observe it on the occasion of his day, okay, so as to bring an acceptable offering before the Lord, and to eat and to drink before the Lord on the day of his festival, that man who is clean and close at hand shall be cut off, because he offered not the obligation of the Lord in its appointed season. He should take the guilt upon himself. Let the children of Israel come and observe the Passover on the day of its fixed time, on the 14th day of the first month, between the evenings from the third part of the day to the third part of the night. I think I have to travel to Detroit. I really do. I think I have to travel to Detroit for 2 part. That probably has passed, but you should check. It says, for the 2 portions of the day are given to the light, and a third part of the evening. This is that which the Lord commanded thee, that thou should observe it between the evenings, and it is not permissible to slay it during any period of the light, but during the period bordering on the evening. Let me keep reading. This is sunset. And let them eat it at the time of the evening until the third part of the night. And whatever is left over of all its flesh from the third part of the night and onward, let them burn it with fire. If you eat that damn slow, it should be burned with fire. I am so silly. And they should not cook it with water, nor shall thou eat it raw, but roast on fire. So you cannot boil it or raw. Who eats shit raw? No. But roast on fire. They should eat it with diligence, and its head, and with onward thereof, and its feet. They should roast with fire, and do not break any bones thereof, for of the its head and the inward parts. Okay. For of the children of Israel, no bone should be crushed. Okay. Oh, I'm stupid. It says, for this reason the Lord commanded the children of Israel to observe the Passover on the day of its fixed time, and they should not break a bone thereof, for it is a festival day, and a day commanded. I wonder, do he keep the feast days? Right. I'm thinking about another person, like this living person on earth. And there may be no passing over from day to day and month to month, but on the day of its festival let it be observed. And do thou command the children of Israel to observe the Passover throughout their days, and every year, once a year, on the day of its fixed time. And it shall come for a memorial well pleasing before the Lord, and no plague should come upon them to slay or to smite in that year in which they celebrate the Passover in this season, in every respect according to his command. And they shall not eat outside the sanctuary of the Lord, but before the sanctuary of the Lord, and all the people of the congregation of Israel shall celebrate it in its appointed season. And every man who has come upon his day should eat it in the sanctuary of our God, of your God, before the Lord, from 20 years old and upward, for thus it is written and ordained that they should eat it in the sanctuary of the Lord. And when the children of Israel come into the land which they are to possess, into the land of Canaan, and set up the tabernacles of the Lord in the midst of the land, in one of their tribes, when the sanctuary of the Lord has been built in the land, let them come and celebrate the Passover in the midst of the tabernacle of the Lord, and let them slay it before the Lord from year to year. In the days when the house has been built in the name of the Lord in the land of their inheritance, they should go and slay the Passover in the evening at sunset at the third part of the day. They shall offer its blood on the threshold of the altar, and shall place its fat on fire which is upon the altar, and they should eat its flesh roasted with fire in the courts of the house, which has been sanctified in the name of the Lord, and they may not celebrate the Passover in their city. I'll think about the question I asked you. Nor in any place save before the tabernacles of the Lord, or before his house where his name has dwelt, and they shall not go astray from the Lord. Oh my God! If the hair was longer, that looks just like you a little bit. If I can find it. That low key looks like the Most High. The angel. That looks like him. That really does. If the hair was longer, that looks just like him. That looks just like the Most High. Look at this, y'all. Like if his hair was longer and black, picture that. I can show you another picture, but picture him like being like older, like seriously. Like I'm gonna show you another picture. Where's that picture at? Picture him being older. Like, yeah. He's dark skinned, y'all. He dark skinned. He dark skinned. He dark skinned. He does have long hair, right? Probably cut it. I don't know. Anyway, because I'm reading, and it's like something made me think about them. Like, wait a minute, that. Oh my God, it made me think about not that picture I just showed you, the other one, the video. Like I'm like, wait a minute, that looks just like you. Somebody, you is revealing yourself. You really are. You're showing your ass. Anyway, it says, and they shall offer its blood on the threshold of the altar, and shall place its fat on the fire which is upon the altar, and they should eat its flesh roasted with fire in the court of the house. The court of the house which has been sanctified in the name of the Lord. And says, and they may not celebrate the Passover in their cities, and they may not celebrate the Passover in their cities, nor in any place save before the tabernacle of the Lord, or before his house, where his name has dwelt, and they shall not go astray from the Lord. So you have to be like at the tabernacle, like shit like that. I didn't know you had to be together. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. And do thou, Moses, command the children of Israel to observe the ordinance of the Passover as it was commanded unto thee. Declare thou unto them every year in the day of its days, and the feast of unleavened bread, that they should eat unleavened bread 7 days, and that they should observe its festivals, and that they bring an obligation every day during those 7 days of joy before the Lord on the altar of your God. He was broken-hearted. Yeah, he was, of course. For ye celebrated this festival with haste when ye went forth from Egypt, for ye enter into the wilderness of Shur, for on the shores of the sea ye completed it. 50. We in chapter. Wait. Pause. We in chapter 50, the last verse. I mean the last chapter. So yeah, let's see what's popping. It says after this law, I made known to thee the days of the Sabbath in the desert of Sinai, which is between Liam and my boobs sweating. And I'm not wearing no bra. Like the boobs is just sitting with this dress. And it says in Sinai, and I took thee of the Sabbath of the land of Mount Sinai, and I told thee. Oh my bad, I didn't say that. I ain't going back. I told thee of the Jubilee years in the Sabbath of the years, but the year thereof have I not told thee, till ye enter the land which ye are to possess. And the land also shall keep its Sabbath, while they dwell upon it, and they shall know that the Jubilee year. Wherefore I have ordained for thee the year, weeks, and the years in the Jubilee. There are 49 Jubilees from the days of Abraham until this day. Not to when he's speaking. 1 week and 2 years. There are yet 40 years to come for learning the commandments of the Lord until they pass over into the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan to the west. Oh God. And it says, and the Jubilee shall pass by until Israel is cleansed from all guilt of fornication and uncleanness and pollution and sin and error, and dwells with confidence in all the land, and there shall be no more Satan or any evil one. And the land shall be clean from that time forevermore. It says, and behold, the commandment regarding the Sabbath. It says, I have written down for thee in all the judgment of its laws. Y'all ready? Pay attention. 6 days shall thy labor, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. And in it ye shall do no manner of work, ye and your sons and your manservants and your maidservants and all your cattle and the sojourner / stranger also who is with you. And a man that does any work on it shall die. Whoever disintegrate that day, whoever lies with his wife, meaning having sex, or whoever say he will do something on it, that he was set out on a journey thereof in regards to any buying or selling. Ooh, you sold me the Most High. You sold me. No buying or selling. Damn. Oh, you sold me. I missed that. Oh, Most High, most High, forgive me. It says, And whoever draws water thereof, which he has not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house shall die. Did somebody have somebody to send? Take up your mat